How Long Gone? Chris Black coming to you live from Copenhagen. It's dark outside. It's 6 p.m. The day is wrapping down, but the day is winding down. I'm ramping up. I'm here to record with my co-host and friend Jason Stewart. What's good?
So it's time to put a cup full of TJ down your gullet. We're on American time, 9 a.m. Thursday. Even though I drank a decent amount last night, not hungover, but I'm sure it'll find its way into my midsection later on today.
Okay, we're keeping a close eye on your midsection, just to make sure nothing gets upset.
I'm gonna punish my body afterwards. Don't worry.
What was your intake last night? If you won't mind running us through it.
Well, I would love to. do instead of a fit check, I guess this would be a substance check.
A substance check. No dimmy.
Substance abuse check. All right. First, I and for to drink. Well, we were celebrating Lunar New Year, of course. My wife and we wanted to celebrate and dress up and go to a nice place. So we went to the Sunset Tower. But I saw a guy sitting across from us that did a really cool move, because it's kind of like food at all these places. It's not bad. It's fine, but it's there. But this guy ordered the hummus and veggies and pita as his meal.
Sure. It
was just like straight up, I'm going to get a martini and I'm just going to munch on these veggie sticks.
Oh, okay. I think that the inclusion of the martini makes that a little more curious. Now I see where I agree. That's something I would do, but I would be drinking water, so I think it's just like, oh yeah, that guy's a loser. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're drinking, it's like, wait a second, this guy's getting after it. But he maybe, much like you, Jason, before you hit the town.
You could tell he was a regular there. He was a person of means. He knew all the staff and the maitre d's. And we were there, and I was like, oh, is this just, a share plate for the table? Obviously, his steak frite or his branzino will drop in a little while. But no, that was it. It dropped with his dining companion's main, and I was into that, because to me, that's a form of protest when you go to these super expensive restaurants where they don't really.
Oh, I don't.
The
think
money's
that,
not going towards the food.
I don't think that is a form of protest. I think that's a form of light psychosis, probably, and maybe an eating disorder. But I see where you're coming from.
Well, I guess I was a little sympathetic, more so because for all these places, like we've talked about it before, all these restaurants, the chateaus, the towers, the supper clubs, the San Vicente bungalows, etc. There are all these places where everyone that you talk to who's like a food person is always like, well, we don't go there for the food, it's for the vibe, and, hot people, celebs, cool room. And, you can get a burger and fries and a martini and you'll be fine. But the problem I'm running into is that during these kind of peak party season times, I got to eat a burger and fries like 3 nights a week, and that's just not sustainable for me. So I'm going to do the hummus and veggies next time.
That's actually the American dream, what you're talking about, and most people have to do it at McDonald's, so you should be lucky
well,
to be paying $50 for the same thing.
After our episode with Canadian nutritionist Harley Pasternak, he is this, buff, strong guy who is very in tune with his body. And he's having like a handful of broccoli soup for lunch. And I know that people are supposed to eat red meat and it's good for protein and blah, 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 and being a real American man. But at a certain point, there's such a thing as going overboard. And I'm not having like grass-fed elk tartare every day. It's like 80-20 slop beef coming from a chub pack.
Well, I would say there's probably an in-between to green blender soup and burger and fries. And that's kind of where I like to hover. And maybe you should aspire to that as well.
I agree. There's 30 items on the menu between those two dishes, and I hate all of them.
I don't understand what if you just stop going out to eat? It sounds like it's too painful for you.
I try to avoid it as much as possible, but I'm a busy guy. There's a lot of social events to do. And my wife likes to wear nice clothes and have me take photos of them in expensive places.
No, I understand. I just think if you really hate it that much, it's time to put your foot down. I think it's time to put your foot down. I will never cook at home because the effort is unbelievable and I don't understand it. And I understand where you're coming from, where all restaurants aren't good, but it still doesn't mean I don't have to load a dishwasher, so I don't give a fuck if it's not a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think you just everybody chooses their battles.
I think I love restaurants and I love going to them. And if I cook at home, 3-4 nights in a row and
You
do the
deserve a break.
dishes, and I start to go a little cuckoo. It's like I'm a busy guy. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm a multidisciplinary creative.
Okay,
I don't
Chief.
have time
Okay, Chief.
to clean the entire kitchen every day. It can run into. So that's why I love going to all different types of restaurants, high, low. I'm going to Quarter Sheets on Sunday. Going to be a delicious thing, and there's going to be cool, interesting veggie dishes and yummy pizzas and interesting wines and amazing desserts. And I'm not going to have to just be like, well, let me just get more French fries. I guess all I'm saying is, after talking to Harley, and he's saying like fries are not carbs, fries are little things that are meant to easily distribute frying oil into your bloodstream. I don't know. I'm just like, I got to stop eating so many burgers and fries.
Yeah, that's a personal choice. Like I also think that, like, if you didn't know that's what a fry was, we got other problems. I don't think we like to think of
I
it.
knew.
We don't like to think of it that way because they're delicious. I had some, it's funny you bring up fries because I had one of the most special French fries I've ever had in my life on Monday night. And I was thinking to myself,
Okay.
I don't have fries that often, maybe once a week or something. But if I believe they were dusted with something. What were they dusted with?
Mm-hmm.
Like they were
Fennel pollen
dusted fry with a lemon, some sort of lemon aioli. And they were at restaurant Bobe, Bobe in Copenhagen. And they were fucking unbelievable. And this restaurant, but when you're looking at the menu and you go in this restaurant, it's like unbelievable, like beautiful space. But I'm like, oh, here we go. Why did I come here? I'm going to have to have
my fennel pollen joke was real.
Yeah, no, fennel pollen.
I just typed in Bobe Copenhagen fries, and the AI told me Bobe in Copenhagen, Denmark serves golden fries with fennel pollen and lemon mayonnaise.
Delicious. I think they might be like one of the more, but it's like a restaurant that feels very, very serious. And then I ordered a bunch of stuff and I was alone and it was all good. And this is a problem I encounter all the time. Maybe because my restaurant menu IQ is not high enough, but I see a lot of words on the page and I'm like, that don't sound too good to me. And then I order it and I'm like, oh, this is just a piece of fish or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like they really overcomplicate things and then you get it and you're like, damn, these fucking French fries are fire. Or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's like, this is quite good. Why did you add all these words to confuse the diner? Because no one's as educated as the chef.
Yeah, that reminds me of Minetta Tavern. Carolyn and I, when we first started dating, she would take me to Minetta Tavern whenever we went to New York because she loved their burger, and they have this thing on the menu called pomme à l'ego, which is just mashed potatoes that got cheese in it. It's cheesy mash.
Yeah.
So you're like, there's probably so many people who are like, I don't want that weird sounding shit. Little do they know it's cheesy mash.
Yes, and I think that could be. I think restaurants have a lot of problems making money. I think if we wrote the menu in plain speak for customer, that could help. Maybe help drive up the average check price.
Yeah, but I agree with you, but I also think that is a sad, dark thing because I feel like a big reason why that existed was to hopefully exclude the slack-jawed yokels from attending your upscale, high-class dining establishment full of people who know how to act. And if you put loaded cheesy tots on the menu, it might bring in some bridge and tunnelers.
If I hear all these restaurateurs complaining anymore, they should be as lucky to have bridge and tunnelers based on how much they're whining.
And the sad state of affairs is now they're going to have to start dumbing it down.
That's fine. I think it's better to dumb it down. Nobody understands or likes this fucking tweezer shit. No one actually likes that. They eat it to challenge themselves.
Well, they should do it. I mean, you're in Copenhagen for Fashion Week. Do as the fashion lines and designers and brands do. You've got your couture for you and your 3 fucking goofy ass friends, and then you've got your diffusion line to actually pay the bills.
That's fair, but everyone can't open a burger restaurant. But apparently this guy I saw Flynn last night and he was like, the boat, I didn't know this until after hung out with him, but the restaurant Bobby guy is like the Gordon Ramsay of Denmark. And I was like, wow, I like it even more now. I haven't gotten eyes on him yet, but I hope he delivers.
Yeah, check out his Instagram. I think he recently had a child.
Oh, that's shocking. That's because they pay you to do that here. You don't have a choice. It's a government mandated. It's a government mandated issue.
Yeah, so I guess speaking of Fashion Week, how is it? Who are you seeing? How close to the front row are you sitting? Are you able to see any of the people? Do you have to watch it on the screens? How's it working?
I prefer to be in the overflow room, like at a mega church. We're at a mega church where they broadcast it on the flat screen. No, I've seen some. I've seen some stuff. I mean, I went and looked at Frederick, who he had on the show.
Chef Frederick Billy Bray.
Yes, his sister has a jewelry brand. Her name is Sophie. And I went to the showroom.
Sophie Billy Bray.
Looked at some very, very, very expensive diamonds, which is something I usually don't really understand.
Much like the eggs, price of diamonds are going up. It's crazy. You can barely afford them now.
I was looking at these fucking, tennis bracelets that were just, blinding me. And I was like, you know what? I get this. This is fucking nice. And because it was like this beautiful showroom and they'd done like a really, really good job with it. It felt like when you go to Cartier, you feel like you're getting herded into a fucking, it feels like you're in a grocery store at this point. Like it literally feels like going into Whole Foods. Like you make an appointment, they make you wait in the corner. It's full of tourists. They want you in and out of there as fast as possible. And I was like, oh yeah, if you're spending this much money, this is how you should be treated. And luckily for me, I didn't have to spend any money.
It's easier to buy some toothpaste from the Dwayne Reed behind the cage. Am I right?
Dude, honestly, like when we went into last time I went to Cartier, and I know this is obviously like a good problem to have. I was like, this is one of the worst shopping experiences I've ever had in my life. And I don't understand how it is. This is the brand is so strong and the product is so good and the experience is so bad. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe they're just trying to get rid of that IRL experience.
Yeah,
the way everyone else is. Like, can't you just buy this fucking watch online and then we won't have to pay anybody?
It's so fascinating that people
payroll.
I mean, there's a very small group of people who are going to spend 30 grand on their iPhone. They do exist for sure. And like, I'm sure there are guys on Mr. Porter buying fucking APs on their phone, on the plane. But I think when you're buying something of a certain price, it's nice to feel good. And I think that is something that we have lost.
It is nice. It's nice to do a lot of stuff that we don't get to do anymore because of everything.
My whole point is you do get to do that.
It's nice to go into a CVS and buy Advil.
Oh, that's going.
Those days are behind.
But that's a very good example of something that you should just order online. That is something that I don't need to have the experience of buying. Any household item, I don't need the experience of buying. But after a certain price point, I want you to bring me some sparkling water. That's all. You know what I mean? It's not that. I don't think it's asking for that much. I really don't. I feel like that's how we used to operate. And my point is, I had that experience without having to buy anything, obviously. And I was like, damn, this makes you want to buy something because you're so relaxed and it feels so good and it smells good and everybody's good looking. Like that's what we need as human beings. Those are the kind of experiences we need.
Retail foreplay.
Having to ask a security guard to unlock Pert Plus is not what we need. That is what we need less of, and we need more of these kind of. And it doesn't have to be. I mean, an experience can be luxurious without the product being luxurious. You know what I mean? In this case, that's not true. But I think that's something that we should think about as a society.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I was bringing up the CVS's because I think I read that they're going back on that
they are.
policy, and they're just like, fuck it, we're just going to go back. But I always wondered, like, I guess it's different growing up in Southern California because like the drugstore, like a Walgreens, CVS, Dwayne Reed, whatever, those always existed in tandem with a grocery store.
Really?
To me, the grocery store pretty much has everything you need plus food, and none of it is behind a counter, and it's all always cheaper. So I always wondered, like, why the hell do people go there? Obviously, you have to go for like a prescription, or if you have like a
let me understand what you're saying.
First aid.
Let me understand what you're saying. So you're saying that in Southern California, growing up, the farm. No, I'm not being funny. So the pharmacy, you're saying the pharmacy was inside of, or you're saying inside of a grocery store. You're saying the grocery store had that section and it's cheaper, so why would you ever go to a freestanding pharmacy?
I guess less so like the pharmacy where you bring, your paperwork and they give you drugs that you cannot buy over the counter. I'm more talking about like
Sure.
I need to get toothpaste and deodorant and toilet paper and eye drops and Q-tips and all the things that people seem to only go to these stores for, these huge football field size stores. And I never wondered, it never made sense why somebody would go there when I can just go to Ralph's or Vaughn's or whatever, and it's all there.
In theory, you're already going to Ralph's and Vaughn's anyway, so you can just kill it. I mean, I agree with you. Unfortunately,
just go buy toothpaste at the fucking grocery store, bro.
All of those items that you're mentioning, I have to buy from specialty stores because I'm such a loser that, my toothpaste has to come from one place.
You're Marvis. You have to plan things out in advance.
I have to get my Marvis from C.O. Bigelow. I have to get my deodorant from Aesop. I have to get my, toilet paper delivered from Plant Paper. I have to get my...
Yeah.
It's annoying that I've made my life that hard. But in theory, yes, you should be able to just hit the Publix and load up the fucking Honda Civic and head back home.
Go to Publix. Yeah, stop complaining that everything is behind lock and key at all these places when you can just go to fucking Publix.
That honestly, you're right.
No problem.
I mean, in New York you can't, but because that doesn't really exist. But everywhere else.
Well, I mean, if in New York, go to the freaking Bodega. They're so awesome. You got to support them. You can get a tube of toothpaste for $38. Bodega, baby.
Bodega prices, you get rude service, you pay twice as much, but it is convenient, and that's why we live in that hellscape is the convenience. And can you really put a price on that?
Not in New York.
I didn't know. I'm fascinated by this because you're making a great point, but I feel like if you live in, I think people also just like to run errands to be away from their husband, wife, girlfriend, etc. I think as many stops as you can take. If you're not playing golf or training for a marathon, that's all you have.
Yeah, actually, last week I went to I like to speed run my errands, and I went to 6 different places, door to door, in less than 1 hour.
What?
All driving.
6 places.
One of the places was a dispensary, so I don't remember exactly. But I went to an ATM, I went to a dispensary, I went to the UPS store to mail something, I went to Whole Foods, and I went to drop off your film at Digital Photo in Glendale. Shout out.
Thank you. That's okay. That is impressive, and I like. Were you timing yourself Lewis Hamilton style, or
yeah,
were you just?
I was. Well, because of the sauna. The sauna has it's got a 1 hour timer, so I crank it. I give it 60 minutes, and then boom.
Oh, to get warmed up.
And then I drive to survive. Yeah, so then by the time I come back, the oven's preheated for Papa to slide in.
Okay. I got it. That is,
you get it.
That is impressive, especially considering the famed traffic of Southern California.
Yeah, well, we don't really have that in Glendale. We just drive up on curbs and people's lawns and stuff.
It's no big deal. Things are different out there. Now I kind of want, because I feel like I want to try to do this now on foot and see what I can kind of accomplish.
Yeah, because you're an efficient guy, right?
I like to think I am. I mean, I probably procrastinate a little too much, but you know that my passion is running errands.
Yeah, it is. But sometimes I got caught talking to some guys at the Noah store, and then here go Mr. 38 minutes down the drain.
Dad, the one thing about me, I'm going to get caught talking to guys at the Noah store if I'm trying to run errands. That is exactly what's happening. No problem. But I do like the problem in New York with stacking the errands and going Lewis style, going Ferrari team style, is that I only have so much carrying power. So if you're getting dry cleaning, if you're trying to get some, grocery stuff, if you're trying to get my shoes from the cobbler, et cetera, picking up clothes from the tailor, there's only so much I can carry in my weak little arms, and that does limit me. That does limit me quite a lot.
Yeah, we don't want to see. Is that Chris Black from How Long Gone dragging a thing of toilet paper down Bedford?
Wait, did I tell you the story? Did I tell you the story? So our fucking, this is so good. So it was like raining and on a Sunday, and all week long it was like, we got to take the Dyson vacuum into the Dyson store. They'll fix it there. They have like a Rimowa repair area.
When you bust a wheel at Rimowa,
exactly. You take
some twink will bring out the screwdriver and drill you up. It's a Ryobi. It works fine. Yeah, we had a technical difficulty. Sorry, and then let's go back into it. I need to get back into it. Blah, 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 blah. Chris's Dyson broke. Wow. Big surprise. The Ford of vacuum cleaners. Go ahead.
The Dyson broke, and it was a rainy Sunday. We walked the Dyson to the giant Dyson Emporium on Mercer Street and walked in. Their flagship. And Big Mama shamed me immediately. Like, well, did you clean the filter? And I'm like, yes, of course I cleaned the filter. Well, it doesn't look clean. I'm like, I did what I don't know what to tell you. I ran underwater. I did what I was supposed to do. I don't know what to tell you. She opens the machine in the middle of the floor, and just dust gets all over the fucking floor. And she like just keeps scolding me. And like, I'm like, yeah, but I did clean the filter. So why isn't it working? She's like, you got to clean the filter. That's all she would say is you got to clean the filter. So and then she's like, and you got this thing wet? And I'm like, well, it's raining outside and I walked it here. She's like, oh, you can't get it wet. and then hands me a bag. So we basically, I'm like stunned. So we just turn around and leave. And then an hour later, I'm not exaggerating, I got 3 DMs being like, did I just see you walking through Soho with a Dyson? And I was like, see, I can't do this shit.
Broke bitch.
I can't do this shit. I should have just bought a new one.
This is, I'm going to add this. New York City, best city in the world. Only other city I could live in outside of LA. Add this to the very large pile of reasons why I could never live there.
You can't do it.
I just couldn't be me. I need to take my car into a parking lot of a place and pull this out of a trunk and slowly walk it through that parking lot. Not a person I know is ever going to see me. That's what I need. But I think what you need to do is purchase a Miele vacuum cleaner and get on the chosen path, brother.
I have one, and it's mid too. They're all mid. It's fine. It's the same shit. It's like annoying as fuck. You got to buy filters from fucking Europe. It's annoying as hell. All this shit sucks.
I buy it on Amazon.
No, I'm kidding. I know you can buy them on Amazon. I just
I know your ass ain't changing the filter on time. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm definitely not. I just find it all to be like this. All this stuff is more complicated than it should be. Like it really shouldn't. Also, that Dyson doesn't get used.
Actually,
that
do you know
much.
how to pronounce Mia? Is it Mila?
I think it's Miele. I don't know.
Miele? I don't know.
Germans don't. It's not a beautiful language. I'll say that.
Miele?
It sounds ugly the way you're saying it, which is probably means it's right.
Yeah. International listeners, don't sound off in the comments about that.
Please don't sound off.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I had this on from a few days ago, Travis Kelce's fits, but that's old news. He's looking, I don't know what he's looking like. He's looking like a 3-year-old.
No one's ever made Tom Brown look worse. That's for even me, which is shocking. Shocking. I think I look pretty good at it. But it's also just like guys like that can take anything and just make it. It's like his special skill is making something look bad. And it's like kind of an unbelievable achievement. But Taylor Swift's Louis Vuitton outfit was way worse, I would say.
Yeah,
than anything I've seen Travis Kelce do.
It has the same energy of like when you hear about like crazy criminals or sexual predators or serial murderers, and you're like, they were trying to get caught. They're playing with fire. They get high off of that whole thing, trying to see how far you can push it. And I feel like Taylor and Kelce are kind of doing the same thing of like, they're just so bored. Their dopamine receptors are so burned off by this point. Nothing brings them any joy at all. So just to simply amuse themselves, they are dressing like this.
They're freaking it. That's honestly possible. I mean, I think people.
that's what I want to be happening.
Real like football heads are pretty bummed out about this Super Bowl, from what I've gathered. That it's like we're sick of these fucking teams, and the Chiefs are cheating. People love to say the Chiefs cheat.
Yeah.
I don't really know how do they cheat? Do you know how they cheat?
Usually in these situations, people accuse the cheating of like bad calls and officiating and, quote unquote, not noticing crazy penalties and, but you're right. There's not really anything that you can do to literally cheat outside of like, actual crimes or paying the other team to miss catches and actually shave the points or
That's
whatever.
what I like. Get on, yeah. Once you catch your cornerback logging into his Prize Picks account on the sidelines, then you got to start worrying. But otherwise, it's
Yeah.
I guess it is referee. I guess it is usually call based in all sports. That's kind of what except baseball, where they put Vaseline on the ball and shit, which is cool and old school. I like that they can actually.
Yeah, but I mean, there
physically.
is only so much you literally can't like a baseball player still has to hit a ball 500 feet out of the park. Like, it's not, you can't just like, oh, I added another number to that thing, like a
That's
golf
true.
score or whatever. Like,
That's true.
you do have to literally, we're all watching it, the ball has to go in the hole or whatever. So that part is not a perfect science, but I think they're just, they don't want to see the Chiefs anymore. It's like every sport of every year has a team that just dominates and you're just sick of seeing them. And usually if the star player or players is an insufferable kind of dorky person and not a cool person, then it makes it even worse. Like when Steph Curry would win every year, it's like when Kendrick Lamar is winning every year. It's like, yeah, it's cool, you're really good, but like,
yeah, Steph Curry and Kendrick
I just don't
Lamar
wanna see
are good examples of guys who are really good at what they do, but just absolute dorks that I couldn't be less interested.
you're like, I want to see Melo up there. I want to see Cameron doing the Super Bowl, not fucking Kendrick or whatever. You want to see Iverson getting 7 in a row, not just some dorky
Can I ask a
fundamentals
question
kind of guy.
about do Super Bowl halftime performers always make merch to celebrate the activity? I feel like I've never
No.
seen that before. Okay, that is. I just wanted to be clear because that seems extreme.
I mean, it's a great opportunity to make, $4 million in 10 minutes. And I'm sure some
Totally.
creative person at Nike in Portland pitched the idea to somebody and down, and boom. And
Oh, it's not Nike. It's not Nike. That's the funny part about it. It's Willie Chavarria. It's like expensive. It's like designer.
yeah, but I mean, somebody, I'm saying somebody, not literally Nike doing it, but just like that's who I'm picturing in my mind is just somebody who works at Nike. They had that idea. And then, obviously it was made by that Willie guy who I think I hung out with like a couple months ago at the Chateau. He was faded.
It's baffling to me. It's baffling to me. The whole thing. The whole thing. But
I mean, people are going to buy it. Of course,
totally.
you're
Yeah,
going to make money.
Totally.
The merch is not super giving, but it is the Super Bowl. It's lowest common denomies.
It is lowest common. Are you planning
It's no bootboys.biz. I'll say that.
Are you planning a party for the Super Bowl? I know you like
I always do. Usually the way I like to watch these things, award shows, Super Bowls, Coachellas, is at home alone with the air conditioning on or the heater on, depending on what microclimate is happening in my area. But yeah, I'm gonna have a party, and Carolyn is the only person invited.
Okay. Do you order or do you cook, or do you like appropriate? Do you want wings and shit? You want the appropriate?
I'm cooking.
Okay.
I'm cooking, and we're doing it right. We're doing wings, but they're going to be oven baked, house made blue. The list goes on. 7-layer dips, things like that. Little nibblers. No crazy dishes. I remember last year I did a Super Bowl omakase kind of vibe,
Wow.
where it wasn't just like 13 different foods on a table, kind of slowly coagulating and warming and cooling, and then by halftime the flies are circling. It's a mess. So I would every half an hour over the 3-4 hours, a new dish would drop, so you're able to munch it. It's a sizable portion.
Oh, I see. You keep it coming so it's fresh.
Keep it coming so it's fresh, number one, and then also you're able to eat and digest and then anticipate again, because the problem with the buffet gorging is it's like smoking crack versus doing bumps all night. You know what I mean? You hit that rock, and for those 11 minutes, ain't nothing better in the world. And then quick drop and downfall after that. The way I'm doing it, we're going and taking a little key every 45 in the bathroom. Keep the frog jumping on the lily pads all night.
No, that actually is smart because I think that historically in situations like that you arrive at like a crazy spread and you kind of
Yeah.
lose your mind.
Like a dog in heat. But and also I think the real key is because the way that my brain works and a lot of other people who are much fatter than me works is you have the amount of food and then you do the mental equation. Okay, there's the 50-piece Chick-fil-A nugget right here, and you do a head count, 17 people here, and then you're like, that person is only going to eat 2, that person's vegan, they're not going to they're not going to eat any. And then there's like 3 or 4 guys where like they could put this down themselves. And it's fight or flight. If I don't take it, they will. It's dog eat dog. I want my share of those nuggets. And if I don't take them, somebody else will.
That's
So
that's
so the key for the omakase in my mind, you want to find this perfect sweet spot of what's the amount of wings that is not too many wings while also making you feel like you're never going to hit the end of your wings before you want more wings. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, as a person who used to be able to put down a 50-piece nugget tray myself,
No way. Did you really?
bitch, that's not no, maybe not 50, but not 50. I mean, probably 30 or 40. I mean, it honestly
From Chick-fil-A?
Yeah, bro, are you kidding? That's my culture, bro.
Man, this is a different Chris. I mean, I know that you enjoyed the foods of Chick-fil-A, but it's just been so long. What was your sauce or sauces of
Fucking
choice?
ketchup, bro. I'm a man. I don't do all this other. I don't do ranch.
I don't do
ranch
no
is-
DEI Polynesian shit, motherfucker.
no, I
I eat
don't-
American ketchup, bitch.
My sauce is American. That and you can quote me on that. No, I think
Sieg Heinz is what you said.
Polynesian sauce is crazy. Ranch.
No, it's not.
Dipping something in ranch is, for whatever reason, in my mind, the most fat guy shit you can do. And I don't know why, because I know it's not.
What
any
if it's cashew based, motherfucker?
That's just gross.
Actually,
we all
more
know
calories.
We all know that's bad. We all know that's
know.
bad. But yeah, any honey mustard? Are you kidding me? Disgusting.
Yummy.
No, bro. Ketchup is the only sauce for a nugget. Like, I mean, it's crazy to me. I mean, ranch on a salad is fucking crazy, but that's my culture. My mom was buying Hidden Valley at Costco. We had big dogs in the fridge.
Linda Black said, I found the valley.
Yeah.
She ain't hidden.
Yeah, no, 100%. The Valley ain't hidden anymore. Go into our garage fridge. It's all in there, bro. It's all in there. Yeah, no, I mean, that was my life. But I do think people are getting to like, pizza places offering ranch just feels dark to me. It feels
Sorry, that's just a part of my childhood. Sorry. Dipping,
Really? See, I
dipping
feel like-
pizza in ranch is just what you do.
I didn't know that. See, that's actually really interesting because I didn't realize that trend had existed that long. I thought that was in the last like decade.
No, sweetie. Reagan was still in
Okay.
office when this shit was going down. But to me, it was.
But you couldn't get ranch at like Pizza Hut or Domino's. You had it in the fridge, and then you would take the Papa John's and dip it.
No, because once pizza places started offering salad, a little side salad, and then you'd get the little squeeze, like the big ketchup size packets of like the Ken's salad dressing kind of thing.
Okay.
And then you get your
Okay.
Italian, your ranch, or your blue cheese, only the fat dressings. Or you get the little plastic, 1 ounce ramekin cup of oil and vinegar with some oregano in there. But I started doing it, before high school, for sure. There was a little pizza place that we would go to actually for our lunch break in high school. And it was like $2 and you get a side, or you get a slice of pizza, side of ranch, and like a canned like Shasta drink. And it was just
Not Shasta.
I mean, it was a meal deal, cost effective thing.
No. That's actually I'm more shocked.
Like you would get the Kroger brand soda versus the actual Dr. Pepper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was like once that hits, when you get that perfect pizza and the balance of the salt, the sweet, the hot, the cold, the crunch, the wet. Unfortunately, it's just too perfect. Like pepperoni and ranch are two things that shouldn't work so well, but they really just do.
I didn't realize that you got to leave school for lunch. That was always
Yeah.
that wasn't on the table in my community.
Well, where I grew up, it was only white people, so we could just do whatever we wanted. I mean, I'm joking, sorry, but as soon as the lunch bell rang, the entire parking lot would let out, and everyone would go to lunch and come back. We would get like 45 minutes, I think.
That's pretty nice. No, I mean I know that's the thing that happened. That was not available to me at all. And thank God, because at that age and size, I mean, I would have been gone for a while.
Yeah, you would be eating your pain and problems every single day and putting it down because school sucks, man. It's so boring, right? What if we got flavor twists?
I mean, school does suck. I agree with that. But yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Let's see here. What else is going on? Oh yeah, I just wrote this down 2 days ago. It's not a premise at all. It just says sometimes I'm like, are you sure you want me on your close friends list? I wouldn't trust me with some of these picks. Is that a thought that you've ever entered where you're like, wow, I'm already on the close friends. Are you sure this is what you want to do? I'm off the record usually, but
I didn't actually.
don't tempt me.
I've actually I feel like I feel like those lists are completely meaningless now. I feel like people are just throwing on. I don't think people are even thinking about it anymore. I think when it was introduced, it was like, oh baby, this is going to be tight. I'm going to keep my circle small. And then I think it's just like, fuck it. Like I mean,
yeah, when Close Friends first came out, it would be like, yo, I'm going to leave my husband for real. He's annoying as hell. And then now it's like, did you guys see RFK last night? What a joke.
Yeah, it's like, why is this?
That's just a tweet, bro.
What makes this? Yeah, I think that's most often my response is like, I don't know why this is close friends unless it's like, my favorite is there's someone I follow who will go unnamed that posts a constant, like, they are constantly listening to a canceled musician and like posting the Spotify, and I like that because it's fun, because
that's what it should be there for.
It's not someone very famous, but the heads would be like, this is funny, and it's funny to post that on close friends.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to think of my other favorite one. All my influencer girlies know about this one. Hey, I just posted this thing for AutoZone. Can y'all go like it and leave some positive comment?
I just posted,
which I think it's cool and great, and it works. So yeah, awesome.
Honestly, every time
it beats working at AutoZone. No shade to my zoners.
Every time I see that, I immediately go leave a comment. I completely agree with you. I'm like,
see,
if you're gonna ask, I'm gonna deliver, and I might do it otherwise because I'm trained to know that when the sponsor is so clear that I should go participate.
Yeah.
But I do think that is a very good use of close friends.
Yeah, and I like people who seem to live so freely and open and not carelessly, but just like a little bit like, let's not take everything so serious mode on there, where typically if I were to like befriend somebody and then they instantly, within a day of following each other, you're already on the close friends. It's kind of like, what's going on here? Like, do they have a crush on me? Are they trying to get me to see specific things? And now to me, it's like a dog that just really wants to hang out. Just like, hey, we're best friends now. Here's my like very intimate life. Here's me like close friends posting about how my period cramps are crazy, or I'm
like, this isn't.
I accidentally killed my dog.
Yeah, you hope that close friends, you're like, oh baby, maybe there'll be some good shit in here. It's gonna be spicy, and then it's literally like what Twitter is, but on Instagram, and it's like, damn, it's crazy. It's like Trump sucks. It's like, yeah, dude, this isn't a close friends. This isn't necessary to be behind the the proverbial paywall. I mean, did you see the this fucking crash though? This shit is crazy.
The plane crash, yes.
Plane crash into a helicopter, everybody dead.
Yeah.
How does that happen with all of the technology? I mean, I know Trump is saying it's the result of diversity hiring. I don't think that's necessarily the reason for this, but I just feel like with all the technology we have, and it feels like this would happen a lot more.
Yeah, this hasn't happened since 2009. I think was the last like serious domestic plane crash. I've only, since I'm on West Coast time, I'm behind y'all, so I only got to see a little bit. But from what I was learning, the helicopter was a military helicopter. I'm sure all of this will be out by the time it comes out. It was a military helicopter that was
Black Hawk.
apparently going dark.
Oh, it was on the low.
It was on the low, attitudinally, longitudinally, latitudinally, as well as metaphorically and sonarically.
Okay, so it's
It was going stealth mode
I saw fucking
while flying into the flight landing path of
a major
one of the
airport.
busiest airports
Yeah, a
in the
major
world.
airport. I saw Deezus tweeted like because the fucking CEO of American Airlines like made a video and he's wearing like a quarter zip and Deezus is like, bro, you got to put on a tie for this. You can't show up in your quarter zip to tell me everybody died.
Yeah, you're not about to debut a new iPad. Many are
like
dead.
you got to show up with it.
We're super excited about this new NVIDIA chip. Well, not that one, but
That is really, it's like, bro, yeah, come on. There's sometimes, if you're the CEO of a company, you know that when you're delivering bad news on this scale, that maybe you pull the Hermes tie out and strap it on for the morning.
to me, we're nitpicking. I think more people were like, hey, this is, regardless of his level of fashion, this is the first time you've ever seen a CEO of a company
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
true. That's true. That's true.
So it's like, damn, don't hate on the little details of this. Like, he actually is the first person in a position of leadership who seems to be doing what he's supposed to be doing, or they're supposed
I
to be
mean,
doing.
this feels like from the little information that I've taken in that this is once again the U.S. government's fault in some way, but not.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
But the guy who is having to get on camera and take the heat for it and not blame it on diversity hiring is the president of a private company.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, not private, but you know what I mean.
Taking the high road.
The highest road, the 30,000 feet road. Yeah, he's taking it all the way.
That's the name of his fucking memoir, bro. The Highest Road.
That is good. That is good. That is good. Yeah, it's really crazy. Though.
Yeah, that's awful, and that's always as somebody who flies all the fucking time. It's just one of those things where couldn't happen to me, but damn. I've flown into Dulles.
I never.
I've been on a Black Hawk.
It's you haven't. It's bad that I fly as much as I do, and I never think about crashing at all. Like I've never even.
Well, I mean, you
considered it.
can't, or else you'll live in constant state of fear.
No, but
I mean,
I picture
the way I drive. Like whenever I'm driving with Carolyn, she's like, "I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die," and I'm always like, "Everyone on this road is gonna die except for me." I'm so sick of driving.
I think I'm gonna die. I have visions of getting hit by a car all the time when I'm walking.
Really? Like
All the
while you're actually
Yeah.
walking, but not when you're like at home about to go walk.
No, like when I'm walking down the street and like whatever, I'm like crossing the street and cars are turning. You know what I mean? They're taking a left
Yep.
or whatever. I'm like I'm picturing myself getting hit by that
You're
car.
you're picturing a big F-350, just rapidly moving out of the way to avoid a rainbow-colored crosswalk, and then boom, straight into you while you're buying your laundry detergent from the boutique in the West Village.
That's actually no, but they send me. Thank you to my laundress family. I don't have to go out. Thank you for that. But yeah,
Laundress should be the name of Madonna's daughter.
I think that's how some people pronounce it. So maybe that's why
We got
you're-
Lourdes, Laundress, Alondra.
Laundress. Laundress is wearing another see-through YSL top again. My God. I just really think that Barack Obama had sex with Jennifer Aniston. I'm really buying into that. I don't know if I know it's not true, but it's so cool that the possibility has even arisen.
Well, I would say, there's so many instances where people, quote unquote, got to do it for the story. You know what I mean? We have lots of friends who have probably had sex with a celebrity, not on that level, not a former president, but you're like, oh damn, you had sex with that, and then they're always like, I didn't really want to, didn't really need to, but I mean, you got to do it for the story. Even your partner would
that's
agree.
the lie that's the lie they tell you. That's the lie they tell you.
No, I've done a
Yeah.
lot of stuff for the story, Chris. I will attest that it is not a lie. But when you have two people on that level, I wonder if their do it for the story cancels each other out. Kind of like when Cat Williams goes on, what's his name's podcast,
Vaughn?
on Theo Vaughn's podcast. Will their brains cancel each other out? I think we learned that they did. I only saw some clips, but I think Aniston is like, damn, I haven't fucked a president in a while. Let's do it. He's actually a cool one. And then we all know Barry is he's a snow bunny chaser, and he's
Let me
of that age. He got to watch her on Friends at 22. He said,
Let me be clear. I like white chicks. Yeah, I mean, you're.
Let me be
right.
clear. I'd like to beat it like OJ. R.I.P.
It's so cool to think about him at the podium in the White House having to like address this in the briefing room, being like, I beat. That's right. I beat. It's so
Many
funny.
of you are wondering if I was, in fact, tapping that, and I was.
Because he talks like a dad, so the slang is a little old, but it's not. It's like we still understand
It's not Biden old, where he's like, "Look here, Jack, I needed to." It's not that old, but I mean, I want to believe it as well. I don't want to believe that Michelle is Big Mike, though. To me, that feels rude.
Big Mike.
Michelle Obama.
What you're calling her Big Mike as a nickname?
No, I'm saying that rumor I don't like.
What is the rumor? I think I'm confused.
You know what I'm talking
no,
about?
I don't think I know the rumor.
The rumor is that Michelle Obama is a man.
Oh,
and everyone calls her Big Mike.
Oh, God damn it! I mean, something about Big Mike that's too good. Look.
Yeah, I know, but it sucks because there's a photo that they posted where they're like at a restaurant in like a private dining room somewhere, and it's him and Michelle. Maybe it was like a New Year's Eve photo, or like I don't know. It was in the last couple of weeks, and he's looking great. He's serving face. His angles are good. His hair's on point. Everything is all good. And then it's an unflattering photo of his wife of however many decades. She sort of has masculine features, and then people were like using AI to make her even more masculine. And then people are tweeting like, Barack is gay because a straight man wouldn't do his wife so dirty like this, kind of thing.
Bro, we got to get out of here. People, this is why people hate AI. Like that the use of technology in that way is so twisted.
And that's the dangerous part is you can push it just a little bit where you're like, is that actually Ariana Grande or is that her body double? Is Kyle Rittenhouse that fat or is that puffed up a little bit? I don't know. JD Vance's puffiness could fluctuate that greatly on a day-to-day basis. It's plausible, and that's where the danger lies.
That is where the danger lies. No, that it's like, well, that might be true, and that is where the danger lies. But I don't know, man. I want to believe it. Not Big Mike. I want to believe I want to believe that.
Hey, Malia, smell my finger.
That Barack hit. I do, because I feel like
that's white pussy right there.
Because we know that Jennifer Aniston is desperate for a man, and Barack's he's got too much power. It's just there's so many ways this could go right.
Yeah, I mean, in those situations, it makes you wonder what's wrong with Jennifer Aniston. What's so wrong about Jennifer Aniston that she can't get a man?
I think it could be that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, of course. I think it could be that she's too rich, and it's intimidating.
Right.
Jennifer Aniston is very, very rich.
Of course.
And looks great. And she's redeemed herself because she had a lot of flops, but the morning show is, I think, pretty beloved. Like overall, I think it's a pretty well-liked show.
I know, but yeah, is it one of those things where it's just like she's just so there and big and unattainable? Like when you hear about like the hottest girl at school, and she's like, yeah, nobody asks me out on a date.
Yes,
is it that kind of vibe?
I think there's something, or the only people asking her out are like slimy producers,
Sure.
And she's like, I know better than that. I've been doing this for fucking 30 years.
I'm sure she's getting slid on, and I know that she's sliding on people. What is it about her where you're like, yeah, of course I'm going to hit for the story, but then like after two hangs, it's like, ugh. Like do you think she has hashtag producer chick energy?
She could be. I mean, I'm sure she has a production company. I mean, that's definitely possible. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if
She's type A plus.
it's she might be just too famous, you know, is like it's too. I think what happens with someone like that is several age groups like grew up with her being on TV. So it becomes like a real box to check off, but then maybe
Like Chris Berman.
exactly.
Same vibe.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so many. The line outside.
Back of the line, buddy. We've been here for a while.
The line outside of Chris Berman's Monday Night Football bus is historically long. So I know what you're. I know that you're referencing that for a reason.
Shout out to our dear friend Stevie from Purple PR. He's leaving Los Angeles, going to where you live.
Let's go, baby.
The Lower East Side of NYC.
We get another
I
one.
went to his surprise going away last night at Sal's in WeHo. It was a blessed
Did he cry?
occasion. He didn't cry, but he was heap surprised. Former guest of the show, Sam Buck, was up in there. A lot of friends, and also ran into two previous How Long Gone guests dining, Rostam and Harrison the Dare, fresh off the airplane from Paris, I believe. So they're going to finish the record while they're here. But I was talking to Harrison,
Yeah.
and he mentioned that he believes he's a prediction guy. He believes that 2025 color of the year is going to be a turquoise. Like a Tiffany blue kind of vibe.
Okay.
Is the new Brat.
Yeah, I could.
What's
I
it
mean,
do, Chris?
I think that's like a little less shocking than.
Is that on Prize Picks yet?
I'll have to look that up. That feels like a safe prediction. Like that color has obviously been in and out of vogue for decades, but I like
Sure.
that he's being decisive about it and kind of predicting the future. I love that.
I agree with you that it is a color that has existed for a long time, and it goes in and out of vogue. But also when you compare it to other colors in the grand scheme of the color wheel, it is an outlier.
That's true. That's true. I think
You have to give me that, Chris.
Well, I think that though whatever the next color is might be a further rejection from Brat Green, and I don't think that blue is far enough away in the Pantone book.
Pendulum is not swinging far enough.
That's
is what you said.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of
you're not wrong. But maybe that's enough time has passed to where that pendulum, she's swinging real tight.
it's anything is possible.
I wanted to talk about Just Like Heaven. The festival is back again this year, and I'm DJing it again. The lineup is looking pretty damn good, right?
Yeah, it's probably the best lineup.
Some winners on
I'm
there.
a real block party appreciator.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try and get Block Party on the pod. Hopefully, we'll get Vampire Weekend on finally. I don't know. I think he might not want to talk to us, but
No, that's not. I think he does want to talk to us. Actually, I think he's an appreciator the same way we are, but I think it just hasn't happened yet. That'll happen though.
okay. We're still sniffing butts at the W party.
Well, I mean, I talked to him a handful of times, but there's just too many. I think it's one of those things where there's too many friends in common, and it hasn't happened yet, so it feels like it already has. You know what I mean? When that goes down,
Yeah.
I think it's one of those situations because Ezra is one of the brightest. He's a truly great podcaster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's built for it way more than most musicians.
Yeah, I mean, and we've had all the other Time Crisis people in the pod, Weidenfeld and Jake Longstreth.
Love.
So it's
love
time.
the family over there. I love their sketch.
Shout out to Strath. Hopefully you have a good freeze this year, brother.
Hey
And
man,
I hope to one day be able to commission you to draw the Del Taco that I grew up in.
It
Not
really is.
literally,
That
but
really is
my closest location.
that really is like something that should happen. That absolutely.
Yeah.
At some point, I completely agree. There's no one better. All right, how long gone?
I'm willing to do a trade.
Yeah.
I can make you a mix.
Oh God, how long
Make you a
gone?
dope ass mix.
How long gone? HowLongGone.com is
Free hats.
the website. Thank you for listening. We'll be back with guests ASAP. And thank you to all my Copenhagen La Familia. Thank you to Isabella for having me. And I'm going to continue the Scandinavian melancholy this weekend in Stockholm, my favorite. So it'll be the same vibe when you talk to me next. You know?
Scandinavian melancholy, third favorite Bell and Sebastian record.
One of my, that's one. Sounds like Stewart's solo album, but I get where you're coming from.
Okay, bye.
Later.